I don't know about y'all, but this month has been crazy. I cannot wait for October. Anyways, I have some really good news for all of you who are Assassin's Creed fans in the big 2025. We've gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot of bad game design and game changes. I think it really went off the rails after the release of Odyssey. I think Odyssey was the last good Assassin's Creed game that Ubisoft made. But they've recently announced that they're going to be making a remake of Black Flag Assassin's Creed 4. That's the pirate one, by the way, with Edward Kenway, the one that most of you probably grew up playing. If you're a little younger and you probably still playing a Fortnite, well, let me explain Black Flag to you. Basically, it was a pirate game that came out, I think, in 2013, and you had this ship and you'd sail the seven seas, and it was in a set map. You'd fight these other larger ships as well. You'd go to all these like little ports and whatnot, and there was like a campaign where Edward Kenway learned how to be an assassin while he was a pirate, because originally he was a scoundrel. Like he took the assassin's cloak from the dude that he killed when he got shipwrecked with him. Blackbeard's in it as well, Ubisoft's version of him. Not the Siege version, alright, no, not him with his scar. He doesn't like shield bash some Templar guy. No. Actual pirate Blackbeard, the coolest adaptation of Blackbeard in my opinion, by the way. It's going to be ditching the modern day sections entirely in favor of expanding Edward Kenway's story, so it's going to be more story focused, which is great. The only bad thing is it's going to be adding the RPG style loot in the modern day Assassin's Creed games, where you'll get like a bow that's blue Verity, and when you level up a couple of times you'll get a purple one. It's the same thing. It's such a bad system, because that adds inventory management in an Assassin's Creed game. That also adds over encumberment, so you can't like loot whore and store everything. It's not a good system. I don't know why they're still hanging on to it. You know, Black Flag Remake, ooh, okay, this sounds good, it's gonna be great. And typical Ubisoft fashion, they gotta just slide a little turd in that, you know, good sandwich of yours. Or RPG loot elements. I don't want that. Why would I want that? No one wants that. But anyways, besides this awful RPG style loot, they also said they're going to be adding denser islands, content being restored from the game, and they're going to try and make it where it's a seamless transition when you are going from your ship to the land, basically how Odyssey has it, where you're sailing around ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and you can just dock your ship anywhere. You can swim the land, or you can dock your ship at a port, and you can get off and go to it. It's all one single flawless motion. You don't have to. It's not like Fallout, where it's a cutscene. Oh, okay, I'd enter my ship, cutscene. Okay, I start sailing, cutscene. And you know, Bethesda's not making this game. Do not worry. It's Ubisoft. They're good at this type of stuff. They have their own downfalls with RPG mechanics in Assassin's Creed, which should have never been a thing. I think every Assassin's Creed game that's came out in the last 5 years could have been so much better if there was no RPG loot-based system. It's the dumbest thing ever. There is going to be microtransactions in this game. This is all coming from The Gamer, Screen Rant, and IGN, by the way, and Ubisoft themselves, so I think my sources are pretty legit. Personally, my take on it, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Who knows when it's going to come out? I don't think we have a release date yet, but it is confirmed in development, which is great. I was a big fan of Assassin's Creed. I've played every single Assassin's Creed, minus the newest one, because I don't feel like playing as a black samurai or a female character in pseudo-Japan back then. I don't think it's realistic. Honestly, I don't even care about the skin color or the race of the character. I'm just not a big fan of Japanese stuff. I think it's just overabundant in every, you know, popular media thing. Japan this, Japanese this, blah blah blah. Like, no disrespect to Japan and everything, but I want something else. Maybe like a Chinese Assassin's Creed game. Is that, you know, so hard to ask for? Or maybe like an Assassin's Creed game, you know, set in hell. Like another Assassin's Creed 3 game. If we get another Assassin's Creed 3 game, that'd be great. Maybe like before the Revolutionary War, or maybe after, maybe like 18th, 19th century, but not put it in Britain, like how Syndicate did. Syndicate was good. The map was so tiny though, and everyone was like, "Oi, gov, you got a license for that hidden blade?" You play the game on mute, it's pretty good. You play the game with audio for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, you want to give it 0 stars. Also, another thing that I want to talk about is the difference in the old and the newer Assassin's Creeds. You can definitely tell that the art project went a different way sometime after Unity, or sometime during Unity, especially when they introduced these RPG loot mechanics of having the same weapon but at different rarities and doing different damage and whatnot. I think the game stopped being Assassin's Creed when that happened. The fact that they're adding this to this Black Flag remake that's in the works right now at Ubisoft kind of ruins my hopes for this game. However, I'm still looking forward to it. Ubisoft absolutely cook when it comes to a Pirates game. Ignoring that one PvP pirate game that they made, that was, oof, man. We will not be talking about that. Black Sails or whatever that was called, oh my. I think of the newer Assassin's Creeds, Odyssey is by far the best. I haven't played Assassin's Creed Shadows yet, the one set in Japan. I'm waiting for that to stop being $80. I'm not paying $80 for an Assassin's Creed game. That's a funny joke. I'll pay $40 at most because it's a single player game. There's no multiplayer to it. You know, why would I pay for a full price game when the game only has a campaign and whatnot? Valhalla was great. I'm not going to talk too much about it. It had a good story. Everything else after that, though, was kind of mid. The combat absolutely sucked in the game. However, the map design, the scenery and whatnot, that was peak. That was literally 10 out of 10. Could not ask for anything better. Odyssey, though, it had everything. It had a good story. It had a good end game. It had a good, art direction and whatnot. It's open world, which is usually a bad thing, but they did it correctly. You can literally sail on your ship. You can go to any island on the map in this, ancient Greek war that's constantly at war, by the way, so there's always stuff to do. I have like over 2,000 hours clocked in on that game. I still play it to this day, and I've been playing it since 2017. It is one of the top 10 best games in my opinion. I forget what the Egyptian one was called, but that came out before Odyssey. That one is an absolute dumpster fire. I'm not going to talk about that one either. When it comes to the old Assassin's Creed, though, specifically Black Flag, Black Flag kind of paved the way for this open world-ish thing. They had, where you can sail on your boat in the Seven Seas or in this little area near Cuba and Havana and whatnot. Assassin's Creed 3 kind of did this with the naval missions, but you could not get off your boat. Black Flag improved off of this though, and basically made the whole game centered around your boat. So you have to drive yourself to these areas, and then you get them unlocked, and then you can teleport over there, but you got to go through a cutscene and whatnot. It's the same thing with the newer Assassin's Creed, so I don't know what they mean by seamless transportation where there's no cutscene. I don't know how they're going to do that. It doesn't really make any sense. The whole map would have to be loaded at the same time, and that's just going to be clunky on any hardware. Because then you're going to have a Borderlands 4 situation where your Series X or your PC with the best hardware can't even run the thing at 60 frames, Who's going to want to play that? So there has to be limitations. They can't go saying they're going to do all this and not follow through. Because then you're just going to have all these, limitations on your game and whatnot, and it's not even going to be playable. They're not going to experience what you made. These game companies and these developers, they need to realize this. Borderlands 4, let that be an example. Dude, I don't even know. My mind is blank right now. The people who made Fallout, all right, don't be like that. 1 or 2 cutscenes, that's fine, okay? That's passable. Ubisoft, don't have no cutscenes and whatnot. However, going back to what I'm saying, Black Flag basically paved the way for open world, and then Rogue basically was a clone to Black Flag, because Black Flag was such a massive success, and then they did Rogue, and then they did Unity, and Unity was trash in my opinion. Syndicate was good, that came out after. That was more of like the franchises transitioning into its new art style and new gameplay mechanics and whatnot. Unity was okay. I already spoke about it. This is a rare Ubisoft W. Maybe the Chinese studio that bought most of them is actually whipping them. Like, they're a bunch of children in sweatshops, and they're like, get to work now, and whoosh, and Ubisoft's go, yes. Thank you, China, if true. If not true, thank you, whoever, proposed this idea. This is actually something good at Ubisoft for once. If only Siege could be this, Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. I'm just spitballing here and informing you guys that Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, is getting a remake, and hopefully it's gonna be good. I don't know when it's set to come out. I think it was 2026 or 2027. But that is going to be the next mainline Assassin's Creed game. I'm personally looking forward to it. I haven't looked forward to a video game in so long. I was actually looking forward to Borderlands 4, believe it or not, and I'm hearing nothing but negative reviews, which is terrible, because I'm trying to get out of Siege, but people forget how to make video games now. I don't know.